Hello all. In this lecture, we will see about relational algebra, and in relational algebra, we will see some binary relation operations. Mainly, we will see join operation and division operation. So, in the last lecture, we have seen the last two lectures, we have seen some relational algebra operations. So, we have already seen set theory operations and also unary operations. Now we will see some binary relations operations. That is mainly we will see a join and a division operation. So this is the outline of this lecture. We will see join and we will see some variations of this join, that is natural join, then equi join, and then we will see division operation. Division operation. Okay. So we'll see what is join operation. So if we want to combine related tuples from two relations into a single longer tuples, we will use this join operation. So if we want to combine related tuples from two relations into single longer tuples, that is a tuple, that row will be extended, that is no more number of attributes will be added to a row. So this is an important thing in a relational database. So if we want to join two or more relations, we have already seen one example like Cartesian product. So Cartesian product will combine two relations, but here it is based on some condition we will be joining these relations. So it is actually a sequence of join operation. It is actually a sequence of Cartesian product followed by a select operation. So it is a sequence of Cartesian product followed by a select operation. It is called join operation. Okay. So it is similar to that Cartesian product, but it is followed by a select operation, and this selection is based on some condition. We have already seen the select operation. So select operation is based on some condition. So that is the difference between this Cartesian product and join. So in Cartesian product, we will simply combine all the tuples or all the tuples in two relations. Here, that combining is based on this select condition also. Okay. So you'll see an example, then you will understand this. So it is denoted by this symbol, something like that railway gate symbol. It is like railway cross symbol is there. So similar to that, we use this symbol for join operation. So it allows us to process relationships among relations. So it denotes the relationships among relations. So if there are two tables and if there are those two tables are related, then we have to use this kind of join operation to relate those tables. So general form of join operation are two relations. So if we have two relations R, A1, A2, etc. So these are the attributes, and we have S, B1, B2, etc. Bm. Then the general format is like this: R join with some join condition S. So there is some join condition. So based on that join condition, we will be joining these two relations together. So where here R and S can be any relations that result from general relational algebra expressions. So this is the general syntax. So we'll see join operation and we'll see an example. So if you want to retrieve the name of the manager of each department. So we want to find the name of the manager of department. So these are the tables. We have an employee table with all these details, and we have a department table. So we want to retrieve the name of the manager of each department. So in this table, we don't have the manager name. We are storing only the manager SSN value. So if we want to find the manager name, then we have to join these two tables together based on this manager SSN. So we have to join these two tables based on this manager SSN and this SSN value. So we have to find which all manager SSN is equal to this SSN value. And based on that, we have to get the first name, middle initial, and last name of those persons. Then it will form the manager of each department. So that is the thing. So if you want to find the name of managers, so it is not available in this table, or in this relation it is not available. So it is available in this employee table. So how to get that name? So we have to check manager SSN which is equal to SSN. So based on that, which all names are there, we have to list out all those names. So it is actually cross product and then selection. Okay. So this is the way we can do this. So what we have to do, we have to join these two tables, department and employee. We have to perform this join operation, and the condition for that join condition is this one: manager SSN is equal to SSN. So which all manager SSN is equal to SSN, we have to join all those tables. So we will get the table, this department manager table, a relation like this. So we are joining department and employee table. So department, all the fields will be there. Department name will be there. Department number will be there. Department manager SSN, then manager start date will be there. Then we are joining this employee table also. First name, middle initial, last name, SSN, like that. All other attributes will be there. So we are joining these two tables, and we are joining based on this condition. It is not just cross product, based on this condition. So if we check, we can see that this manager SSN for this Franklin and Jennifer and James are same, and this SSN is same. So manager SSN is same as this three, this SSN. Similarly, this manager SSN is same as. So we have only three tuples. We have only three tuples which satisfy this condition. So these are the managers of these department: research department, administration, headquarters. So if you want to project the name, then pi of first name, last name from this table. So we can simply project the result. We have to project the department name, then last name and first name from this table. Then we will find out we will see, get the managers. So research department, the manager is Franklin Wong. Administration, it is Jennifer Wallace, and headquarters, it is James Poe. So this way we can do this join operation. So the join, we are joining these tables based on some condition, join condition. So here the condition is manager SSN equal to SSN. So we have three tuples which satisfies this condition. So we'll see another example. We have already seen this example to find the dependence of some female employees. So if we find out the I am taking some part of the previous example. So you can refer the previous slide or previous video lecture. You can see the same example. So here in this thing, what this M names denotes the female employees of the department. So these are the female employees of the department, and this is the dependent table. Now we want to find out the dependents of all these female employees. Which are the departments? So whether Alicia has any dependent, Jennifer has any dependent, or Joyce has any dependent. So we have to find. Then what we have to do? We have to join these two tables based on the condition. Here the join condition is SSN should be equal to ESSN. So if we see this, we can find out that Jennifer Wallace and here one SSN has same value. So Jennifer Wallace dependent is Abner, and Abner is a male boy. This is a birth date and spouse, and all other there is no condition. So we have to join based on this condition, SSN equal to ESSN. So we can take the previous example. In the previous example, what we did is we first found out the cross product of these two tables. Then we found out that these number of tuples are there. From this, what we did was that we found out the cross product. After that, what we did was we selected these rows, SSN equal to SSN. Then we found out that we have this table. Then after that, we simply did the projection. We will simply list out the dependent name or something, whatever we want. So this was the thing we did in the previous case, that is cross product followed by a selection condition. The same thing can be done by a single statement. So it is join operation based on this condition. So both these operations can be combined to a single operation called the join condition. Okay, so this was the previous example in the, I think in the 18th lecture. 18th lecture we have seen the same example. when we studied Cartesian product. So Cartesian product followed by a select statement. Here these two statements can be combined to a join operation, and we will get the same result. Actual dependence table will be like this. So we are combining, we will be equating this SSN and ESSN value. Okay. Then we will see what is the difference between this join and cross product. So result of the join is a new relation. We know Q. It is a new table or new relation with n plus m attributes. That is, from both those relations we will combine all those attributes A1, A2, etc. n. Similarly B1, B in that order itself. And Q has one tuple for each combination of tuples, one from R and one from S, whenever the combination satisfies the join condition. So this is important, that join condition should be satisfied in the case of join operation. In the case of cross product, so here join only combinations of tuples satisfying the join condition will appear in the result. But in the case of cross product, Cartesian product, all combinations of tuples are included in the results. That's what we have seen in the example. Here when we take the cross product, all the combination is listed here. After that only we are making this selection again. But here, if we after that when we make the selection, we will get a single row. But here when we perform this join operation, we will simply get a single row only. There is no combination, because only this satisfies this condition. SSN equal to SSN is satisfied by only one tuple. So that is what we have written here. So join only combination of tuples satisfying the join condition appear in the result. But in the case of Cartesian product, all combination of tuples are included in the result. So general join condition, it is like we can define any join condition like this. We have only specified one condition, that is equality condition. So generally we can specify any conditions like one condition and similarly any number of conditions can be used in conjunction using conjunction operation, and this condition is of the form AI theta bj. We will see what is this theta. AI is an attribute of R, bj is an attribute of S, and the thing is AI and bj have the same domain name. And theta is one of the comparison operator. In the previous two examples, we have seen that we are using the equal to operator. So it can be any comparison operator like less than or equal to, greater than, not equal to, greater than or equal to. So we can use any kind of operator. Okay. So a join operation with such a join condition is called theta join. So we are using theta. So it can be any operator. Then it is known as theta join. Okay, we will see what is this. So generally join operation can be anything. Even though we have seen both the examples as equal to operator, we are using only the equal operator. Other operators are also possible. So we generally say it can be any theta operator. So theta can be any comparison operator. Then we can call it the join operation as theta join. Okay, theta join. So tuples whose join attributes are null or for which the join condition is false do not appear in the result. So when we try to join using this join condition, it will be some condition. So if A and B will be two different attributes. So if in the A attribute it is null condition, then we cannot join this condition. We cannot compare null less than 25. We cannot compare. So what we do that in those cases, if join attributes are null or for which the join condition is false, then they do not appear in the result. So that is the case of theta join. So theta join is a generalized statement for join. So we have seen that equality operator for this is any join condition. Then we can call it as theta join. So if the attribute is null or the condition join condition is false, then it won't appear in the result. So join operation does not necessarily preserve all of the information in the participating relation. That is one thing that you have to note. It does not necessarily preserve, because if it is null, then some of the information will be lost. When we try to join, if one of the attribute is null, then it won't be preserved. We will see an example, then you will understand. Let me check with this thing. So here we cannot say the same example, because here all SSN are all primary attributes. If you are taking some other attribute and trying to join, then in those cases some of the things will be lost. Here, since it is primary attribute, some value will be there for that attribute. In certain cases where those joining attributes may not have any values, it may be null values. So in those cases, when we try to join, some of the information will be lost, some of the rows will be lost, or some of the tuples will be lost, because we will be ignoring those null values, or the condition, when the condition becomes false, those tuples will be lost. That is why we write this statement. So it may not preserve all of the information in the participating relations. So that's all about join. So join and theta join. Then there is eq join. Eq join, most common use of join involves join conditions with equality completion. So theta join is a general statement. So any of the 6 operators can come. So if we are using if the join condition is an equality operator, like the examples we have seen, both those two examples we have seen are examples of this eq join. We call them as eq join operations. So eq join, only comparison operator used is equality operator. If we are using only the equality operator, then it is known as eq join. So result of an eq join, we always have one or more pairs of attributes whose names need not be identical, that have identical values in every tuple. So for example, the previous example we have already seen joining this department and employee based on this equality condition, manager SSN equal to SSN. So this is an example of eq join. So this is an example of eq join. And also the another example we have already seen, this names and department based on SSN equal to SSN. So we are using the equality operator. So this is known as eq join. So generally we can say this is theta join, but since we are using an equality operator, it is an eq join. So after eq join, we will be getting something like this, manager SSN and SSN. So this is a thing what we have studied. After eq join, it will be like this. But generally, if we say that the actual dependence also, we can see that this is the thing we will get. So we will see, we have already seen these two examples. So after eq join, we will be something getting the result like this. So we will have the attributes manager SSN and SSN. So this is actually a repetition of information, because this column and this column denotes the same thing. And similarly here also, here SSN and one more ESSN is there. Both denotes the same thing. So it is actually a repetition in eq join. So there is another join, we call it as natural join, in which one of each pair of attributes with identical values is superfluous in eq join. So in eq join, this is actually, we call it as superfluous attribute. This is unwanted attribute, or this SSN is unwanted attribute, because we are already storing that information in this relation. This is an unwanted thing. So we can remove this in from eq join. So if you remove this second attribute or second column, similarly if you remove the ESSN, then it is known as natural join. So natural join, it is denoted by star. So it was created to get rid of the second attribute in an eq join condition. So in an eq join, we will be removing the second attribute, which is superfluous. So we will be removing this SSN. So when we join this department and manager, then department and employee, then employee's SSN is a superfluous attribute. That is, it is an unwanted attribute. So when we join this female employee's and with dependent table, then this ESSN is superfluous. We can remove this column itself. Then it becomes natural join. So that is what we have written. So it is denoted by star or asterisk symbol. So it is a standard definition of natural join, requires that two join attributes or each pair of corresponding join attributes have the same name in both relations. So if this is not the case, a renaming operation will be applied. So in natural join, the standard definition is that the corresponding attribute should have the joining attribute should have the same name. So here it is manager SSN. Here the name is different and here SSN is different. So in the case of eq join, it is not a problem. But in the actual case of natural join, we have to rename to the same name. We have to change either this manager SSN to SSN, otherwise SN to SSN to manager SSN. We have to rename, we have to perform that rename operation. So if this is not the case, if the joining attributes do not have the same name, then what we have to do, we have to rename the operation first. So you will see an example, then you will understand. So we will join, we will try to join department and project. So if we try to join this, then we can see that we have D number here and we have dnum here. So we cannot perform natural join because even though this attribute domain is same, the attribute name is different. So what we have written here, we have already written that the same name should be there in both those relations. So if the same name is not there here, d number is different and d number is different. So we have to rename this dnum to d number first. So we have to perform like this. So we have to join project star, this is natural join, star with the department, but that department should be renamed. That is why we use the row name, row operator here. Row 2, we are renaming this department to dname, and we are renaming this attribute dnum. Here it was actually d number, we have changed to dnum because project we are having this dnum. So we have to make the department attributes also dnum. Dnum manager assistant, the rest is the same, rest the same attribute. So we are renaming this attribute. So then only we can perform this natural join. So this is natural join operation. Or we can write it in two steps. So what we do is we will first rename the department. So we will rename this department to department like this, dnum, d number like that. So we will rename this attribute d number to dnum first. After that we will take the natural join of project star department. So this is department, project star department, and you will get the result like this. We call it as project department relation. So project department will be like this. Now in natural join, what we have told, so we will be removing the superfluous attribute. So when we try to join project with the department, in the department table, this dnum is superfluous. So that dnum will be removed. So in this natural join, we can see only one dnum will be there. But in the case of eq join, there will be two dnums. One dnum and d number will be there. But we have removed that dnum in natural join. So that is the difference between eq join and natural join. So eq join, there will be superfluous attribute or additional one column will be there. That is an unwanted column. So in natural join, we will be removing that. So in order to remove that, what we are specifying is in general definition, in standard definition, if the attribute name is different, d number and dnum are different, we have to rename one of those attributes to, so that it will be same as the other relation. So we are renaming this d number to dnum so that these two attributes are same. Then we perform this join operation. And in the final resultant table, we have only dnum column. We don't have two columns. So that is why we will remove the superfluous attribute in the eq join when we come to natural join. So this is another example. So we have department and department location. So if we want to perform natural join, so we can see that here it is d number, here also it is d number. So we need not rename at all because both are having same name here. So we can directly simply perform natural join operation here because the renaming is not needed since the joining attribute have the same name here. So the resultant table will be like this, department locations, and you can see that department name and department number, manager SSN, manager start date here will be there. And from the department locations table, we will project only the department location. So this D number will not be stored here. Only one D number column will be there. That is why it is known as natural join. Similarly, if we want to do this operation natural join for two or three relations, it is possible. So here it is We are combining this project and department based on this D number. Then after that again we can perform this relation. We will get a relation, and this relation is again joined with employee table using this condition. So this is also possible. So any number of relations can be used to perform this natural join operation. Any number of tables can be joined like this, provided they have the same attribute name. Okay, so natural join can be used on any number of relations. Then there's a definition, we call it as complete set of relational operations. So what do you mean by complete set of relational operations? So set of operations which includes select operator, project operator, union operator, set difference, and Cartesian product is called a complete set. So this set of operations, that is select, project, union, difference, Cartesian product, this combination, this set of operations is known as complete set, because any other operations can be derived from this set. Any other relational algebra expressions can be expressed by a combination of any of these 5 operations. So by using these 5 operations we can specify anything. So if you want to specify A intersection B or R intersection S using this operations, I will show an example. So if I want to specify this intersection operation, it can be specified using this union and difference. So union and difference is there included in this set, and intersection is not there. So if you want to specify this intersection, it is possible to specify using this set of 5, using this any of this 5 set of operations. So you can specify like this: R union S difference, R differences union, S union R. So we are performing this intersection, or we are specifying this intersection based on union and difference operation, and this union and difference is included in this set. So that is why it is known as complete set. So using this complete set we can specify any operation. Another example, if you want to specify the join operation, it is possible. So join operation is actually cross product and join condition, or sigma operation. So this cross product is there in this operation, and this sigma operation or select operation is also included in this set. So that is why this set of 5 operations is known as this set of 5 operations is known as a complete set, because any other operations can be specified using a combination of all these operations. So next operation, binary operation, is division operation. It is denoted by this division symbol itself. So if we want to retrieve the names of employees who work on all the projects that John Smith works on. So we want to retrieve the employee name of employees who work on all the projects that John Smith. So it's John Smith is another employee. So we want to see who all works with John Smith. So this is the relation we have. These are the tables we have. So if we want to retrieve such an information, we cannot retrieve from a particular relation, because we have to take this works on table. So from works on we will get ESSN. From that ESSN we have to find the John Smith ESSN, and we have to combine those two things, and based on that we have to find out other employees, and we have to list the project numbers, and based on that project numbers we have to find out the employee corresponding SSN, and from that we have to come again back to this table, and we have to list out all those employees working with John Smith. So in order to specify such kind of operation, we can use this division operation. So we can simply specify like this. So we will first do this operation, that is we will be taking selecting employees based on this condition: first name John and Smith. So we will get all the employees with this John Smith as employees. Then we will simply project the project numbers based on this join condition: ESSN equal to SSN of this Smith table. So we are joining this works on table with the Smith table based on this join condition, and we are projecting the P number only. We are projecting only the project numbers. So this is the result we will get. So Smith is working on two different projects, 1 and 2. So that is what we get from these two relations. So these two operations. Then what we are doing, we are trying to project ESSN comma P number on works on. So we are projecting ESSN project number from works on. So the resultant will be like this. So these are the employees working on different projects. And now we have to find out only those employees who are working on project number 1 and 2. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is working on this project. Then 434353 is working on 192 projects. Now these are the two employees that are working on this project. So what we have to do? So we have to take SSN. We have to perform this division operation. So if we perform this division operation, that is SSN P numbers divided by this P number. So this relation divided by this relation, then we will get the SSNs. That is, we will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 4, 3, 5, 3. So these are the two employees who are working with John Smith. So for that we use this division operation. So this is done like this, division operation. So we will see what we have done is actually we are dividing this relation with this relation. So division operation is, so what we are trying to do is we have to find out 1 and 2 projects. So this employee is working on both 1 and 2, and similarly 4353 is working on these two. So the resultant will be contain only ESSN values, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 4, 3, 5, 3. So resultant, after that we can project a first name last name using this join SSN with employee, and we are simply projecting only the first name and last name. So we'll get the people who are working with John Smith. So division operation is applied to two relations. So we can generalize this division operation. So it is two relations, R of Z and divided by S of X, where X is a subset of Z. So X should be a subset of Z. So if you see this, we are trying to divide this table with this. So here this is the X. X is P number. So P number is subset of this attribute ESSN and PN. But here we have PN number. So P number is a subset of this. That is why division is possible. So that is important. Here X should be a subset of Z. Then only we can divide that thing. Then let Y be Z minus X. Z minus X means difference operator. Z minus X means those attributes that are there in S which are not in X. So X union Y will be Z if we perform like this. So let Y be like this. Then let Y be the set of attributes of R that are not attributes of S. Then result of division will be Ty. So we will get the result as T of Y. So that is what we get here. So while we divide this and this, then the resultant relation is actually ESSN values. This is not P number. We are not including these attributes. It's the another attribute. So that is what we are writing here. It will be T of Y. So Y, what is Y? Y is actually Z minus X, which are those attributes that are not in S. So it includes a tuple T if tuples TR appear in R with TR of Y equal to T and TR of X equal to TS for every TS in S. So this is the result of relation. So this is actually definition. We can see an example, then you will understand. So for a tuple T to appear in the result T of the division operator, the values in T must appear in R in combination with every tuple in S. So that's what we have seen in this example. So if you want to divide by this thing, then 1 and 2 should appear in every tuple. So if we see 1 and 2 is there in these two rows. So 1, 2, 3 is there in both these. Similarly 4, 3, 5, 3 also 1, 2. But 3, 3, 4 has only 2 here. Another project is 3. That 1 is not there for this. That is why in this result we have only this 1, 2, 3 and 4, 3, 5, 3. Okay, so we will see another example for the same thing, division operation, then you will understand here. So if we take this R and S, if we are trying to divide R divided by S, what you have to take? then the resultant table will not have this A attribute. So it will be B attribute. That is why we are showing that resultant as B attribute. Now how to divide this thing? So when we want to divide, we have to find out the rows which have all these combination A1, A2, A3. So A1, A2, A3 we have B1. So A1, A2, 3 is present is B1. Then A1, A2, A3 is present in it is not present in B2 is not there. B3 it is not there because A1 is missing. But B4, so all the combination is there. Before B4 corresponding all B1, A1, A2, A3 is there. So that is why the resultant table will contain B1 and B4. For B2 we have A1 and A3 but A2 is not there. Similarly for B3 we have A2 and A3 but A1 is there missing. Okay, so that is why the resultant table will contain B1 and 4. So if you want to divide this by this, then it should be a subset of this thing. So A, it is a subset of this AB. Then in the resultant table, it will be if we are trying to divide AB by A, then B attribute will be appearing. So B will be there. And when we try to divide, what we have to find out? So we have to find out which all rows have all these three combinations. So we can see that only B1 and B4 has all the three combinations. So that is why B1 and B4 is listed. So this is actually division operation. So in some cases we need to apply this division example also. So these are the operations that we have learned till now. So select operation, then project, then theta join we have already seen, then eq join. So theta join is actually general join condition. It is eq join, the join condition, it is based on some equality condition. So it is based on some equality condition. Then we have natural join. It is eq join except the join attributes of the R2 second relation, that join attribute will be excluded. Then we have union operation, we have already seen R1 union R2, then intersection, difference operator and Cartesian product, and then we have finally seen the division operation. So these are the different operations, relational algebra operations that we can use. So why we study this is internally all these operations will be happening when we perform some relational uh, operations like select or drop table or insert, all these operations. Okay, so this is a reference. Thank you.